Yo, it's the MYCRO, you already know. Waha! Chainsaw Man is back, baby, with another chapter 98, titled Bird and War. And the title of it is pretty fitting for what happens in this chapter. But before I begin, I need to remind you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I see a lot of you guys watching the videos, but not hitting that one little red button right below. Just click it. Click it. Is it that hard? I know you're listening, right? And you're like, man, I don't want to subscribe. Well, guess what? You're going to do it. All right? And I'd really appreciate it, guys. We're almost to 1,000. We're getting there. Thank you guys so much. On to the video. So the beginning of this chapter starts off with a classroom, and there's a teacher by the name of Mr. Tanaka introducing the chicken devil named Bucky. And Bucky seems like a very jolly kind of devil, not the type to want to hurt anybody, and makes a lot of these corny jokes revolving around the attributes of chickens. like the first joke he said is, "I'm excited to befriend you all." And that was just so corny, but I don't know why it made me laugh. But anyway, then the teacher tells the class that they're assigned to kill and eat Bucky in 3 months in order to teach the kids how precious life is. And it sounds like a nice thing, but then you just realize it's at the expense of a chicken. Everyone in the classroom is looking at the headless chicken and complimenting how cute it is, and Bucky just seems really mopey because he doesn't want to die, and they're all feeling bad for the damn thing too. Then we are introduced to a supposedly important character, Mitaka, and the first image we see of her is her looking goddamn mean. She doesn't look nice, and she starts off already resenting the chicken because it's sitting on her desk, first of all, and the fact that it's a devil and she just wants it to die. Jesus Christ, she really hates life. But it seems like this attribute plays an important part for the theming of this chapter. So the classroom aren't really fond of Mitaka because she is an outcast. She doesn't have a lot of friends, and she never looks happy. She's constantly hating on people every day, hating on their everyday actions, even petty stuff like people walking in groups of 3 in the hallway because they're taking too much space that people can't pass them. But honestly, she got a point there. But sometimes I'll be walking in New York and there's a group of 3 and I'm like, can you please just make room, move. And during lunchtime, Mitaka is eating her food outside alone, and then she's confronted by the class president. And this is where things get pretty nice because they're having a genuine conversation. Mitaka knows about Chainsaw Man, and by the end of the scene, says that she wants Chainsaw Man and Bucky to die already. So time has passed, and when it's time to execute Bucky, the students are pretty hesitant on it because they've kind of grown attached to Bucky. They tell Mr. Tanaka that they don't want to kill him because he's been one with the classroom. And then Mr. Tanaka kind of just tells everybody that it was just a test to see if they would actually kill Bucky. And he just cries. He's like, I didn't want him to die anyway. I'm so glad you guys learned this lesson. You all passed. Oh my. And Mitaka looks so astonished. You can see in her face what? What? This is a devil! We're supposed to kill him! Why is he gonna live? Oh my god. And her face is just in disbelief because she wants Bucky to die so freaking bad. And even the teacher's happy and exclaiming that this lesson the whole time was just a test. And so the teacher's just exclaiming that the lesson the whole time was to not take life lightly, even a devil's life. And I wonder how they felt about the gun devil, but we don't talk about that. So they decide to have Bucky an official member of the classroom, and they decide to go play soccer outside as a celebration. And this is where things get really, really dark. As they're playing outside, Mitaka is just chilling, being an outcast, doing outcast things. And all of a sudden, the class president and Bucky are like, yo, come play with us. And she's very surprised that Bucky even knows her name, and as if no one's gonna tell Bucky the name of the obvious outcast. Bro, are you dumb? Or are you stupid? And then it happened. Bucky leaped into the arms of Mitaka, and she realized that she was just jealous of everyone having a normal life, jealous that everyone was able to make friends and have relationships with one another, something that Mitaka never felt. And when she finally decided to engage with the rest of the classroom, she tripped and crushed Bucky and ended up killing him. And this is where, Fujimoto fashion, things take a dark, dark, dark turn. The guts spill out of Bucky, and the students are in complete shock. And Mitaka just can't believe what she is seeing and faints. And honestly, this is truly a moment of despair because finally, at the moment she felt that she was accepted, she ended up accidentally killing a devil that befriended a class to the point where they don't even want to kill this devil anymore. And so life goes on. She goes to school. Everyone looks at her pretty funny. Then she goes back home and she mopes. But then one day she's visited by the class president and Mr. Tanaka. And honestly, this is pretty odd to me. And I'm gonna explain in a bit. I know he has stated that he wanted all of them to go visit Bucky's grave. So they walk, and the class president and Mr. Tanaka make it to a crosswalk. And Mitaka doesn't cross it since there was no walk signal, but the two of them go. And this triggers the hell out of the class president. And then she, all of a sudden, turns into a devil and reveals that she is sleeping with the teacher this whole time and that Mr. Tanaka liked Mitaka. And I put this together in my mind. Mr. Tanaka came over to Mitaka's house because he wanted to sleep with Mitaka, and possibly his goal was to capture her or something. She turns into a devil. He's completely caught off guard. Like, he doesn't even, it seems like he doesn't even know that the class president is a devil, and he's just completely caught off guard. So it's obvious that he didn't know, and so he was gonna do some sus shit, some really disgusting things. Oh God, I don't even want to talk about it. Let's move on. So she turns into a devil, revealing that Mr. Tanaka wanted her to befriend Mitaka. She states that she made a contract with the Justice Devil to find out how to reach a happy ending with Mr. Tanaka, and that the only way of doing that was to kill Mitaka. She also tells Mitaka that the Justice Devil told her to trip her because she would fall and crush Becky, and then all of a sudden, Mitaka dies. And the realization that the death of Bucky wasn't her fault are in her fading thoughts. But then, all of a sudden, she revives and pulls out Mr. Tanaka's spine as a sword and exclaims that she is the War Devil and kills the class president and Tanaka, and the two end up kissing, and boom, in Michael Bay fashion, she walks away from an explosion. And this sets the stage for part 2 of Chainsaw Man, and it seems like Mitaka will serve as our next antagonist in this part. This chapter was absolutely amazing, man. The atmosphere was great, and the character development from Mitaka was really good. From her being an outcast to now trying to be accepted for like a millisecond, and then she turns into this badass war devil. It was great. It was great. I think the other characters, like the class president and Mr. Tanaka, were written really well, and this was all done in a span of 53 pages, and it's so impressive how much detail is in those pages. It felt like Fujimoto's one-shots. It was so damn good. So I don't know why she has this hatred for Chainsaw Man. It could be because that she lost someone due to Chainsaw Man, or that she just hates the popularity that he has, and that doesn't seem so far-fetched considering her hatred for those who have girlfriends, friends, and any social status. She's obviously envious of Chainsaw Man somehow, and I believe her goal now is to try to kill Chainsaw Man due to his notoriety. And for the whole chapter, we don't get to see Denji at all, and I think that's for the best. It's setting up the next antagonist, and I think this is very important for a series. Villains that show up out of nowhere wanting to destroy the world and have literally no development whatsoever is definitely not satisfying. I'm glad that Fujimoto took this path to actually build up this antagonist. And so when we finally get a bunch of information about Mitaka, it just, oh my God, it makes me so happy. Her jealousy of Chainsaw Man is very relatable. I'm sure people can read this and find themselves in the same situation as Mitaka, being envious of famous people and whatnot. Honestly, I just can't wait to see what Fujimoto comes up next. He is so amazing at writing characters. So overall, this chapter gets an 8 out of 10. I think the buildup was nice. We got a lot of character development from Mitaka and saw her going through her own struggles with jealousy without feeling very tropey or annoying. And the art was amazing. Everything was great. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm the MYCRO, you already know. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button to keep up to date, because I make anime and Dragon Ball related content every single week, and you don't want to miss out on that. Anyway, I'm out of here, Patati. See ya.